In our first fixed star video, we discussed why it's rare for people to have one of the 4 royal fixed stars on one of their main axes in their natal chart. That's why reaching and unlocking this frequency is so rare. Brace yourselves. In a standard 3D incarnation contract, the matrix is designed to keep human consciousness in low vibrational frequencies through disharmonies, karmic loops, and addictive patterns such as ego, judgment, and loosh harvesting. If an avatar coding carries a royal star signature, this means the following from the system's perspective. First, the extreme system pressure. If you carry this fixed star signature, the matrix immediately registers your potential to decode the game. The result in everyday life is no walk in the park, but rather an endurance test. Early traumas, isolation, extreme resistance from your environment, and constant tests of your integrity. Anyone who fails to maintain a stable frequency here will be overwhelmed by the force of the energy or fall directly into the ego trap. Second, the resonance test. Each of these fixed stars is a double-edged sword. On the 3D level, the shadow lurks. Lust of power, despair, and serving foreign energy fields. Outside the matrix lies the light. Absolute sovereignty, inner neutrality, and true creative power. To allow this frequency to pass through pure, your own vessel must be cleansed, free from old ego projections. And third, the rarity of embodiment. Having such a star in your chart is one thing. Actually holding it within the physical body and living it requires the deepest soul maturity. It means withstanding the density of the 3D world and cracking the matrix code directly from within. This is the second part of our 5-part fixed star series. And as announced, we are now taking a closer look at the first royal fixed star, Regulus. It stands for the absolute courage to speak the uncensored truth from the heart, and for the willingness to lead the way as a beacon without cowering before the matrix. We're talking about a cosmic code that some souls bring into this life as an invisible crown. Regulus on the MC. And now I am going to tell you a story about how the matrix puts this royal code to the test. You've probably experienced this yourself or even know someone to whom this applies. Some people walk into a room and suddenly the entire energy in the room shifts. They don't have to be loud. They don't have to show off. But something in the air whispers, "Here is authority." And have you ever wondered why it's precisely these people who sometimes fall the hardest when they take just one wrong step? Imagine a woman. Let's call her Maya. Since birth, Maya has carried an invisible antenna at the highest point of her energetic field. The Midheaven, the MC, it's not a minor planetary force that aligns with this antenna, but a gigantic royal fixed star, Regulus. Maya knows nothing about astrology, but the world reacts to her. On a perfectly ordinary Tuesday, Maya heads to an important strategy meeting. As she opens the door, something happens on a subconscious level. The room falls silent. People sit up straight. The matrix recognizes her signature. She is automatically given a seat at the head of the table. This is the bright side of this frequency. Natural leadership presence, charisma, and sovereignty. These are the teachers and architects of new systems. But now the matrix strikes, because it tests every code a soul brings with it. In the middle of the meeting, a colleague asks a critical, perhaps even somewhat provocative question. In that split second, Maya's fate for the day is decided. Inside her, the human ego speaks up. It runs the royal Regulus code through the filter of fear and pride. Maya thinks, how dare he? Doesn't he know who I am? And instead of holding the space with heart and sovereignty, she resorts to the shadow side of the frequency, arrogance. She uses her charisma like a sword to belittle her colleague in front of everyone else and demonstrate her superiority. She has won the debate, but look at what's happening on the energetic level. What many don't understand, the fixed stars do not originate from the earthly matrix. Your soul brings this frequency into life as a pure, divine spark. Regulus is the principle of royal dignity. But the matrix provides the playing field, the MC, the geometry, the polarity. And Regulus has an ironclad cosmic law. It forgives no abuse of power stemming from the ego. The moment Maya acted condescendingly out of arrogance, the energy field around her closed off instantly. The people in the room may still be smiling politely, but energetically they have disengaged. Genuine respect instantly turns into silent resistance and contempt. The queen has isolated herself. She was toppled from her throne before the meeting had even ended. To understand what Maya experienced, we must understand how fixed stars function in our matrix. Fixed stars are not distant, harmless points of light. They are gigantic external signal antennas that transmit fixed program commands into the 3D grid from far beyond our solar system. And Regulus, the guardian of the north, the heart of the lion, is the transmitter for royal authority, glory, and leadership. If this transmitter is positioned exactly at your MC, the highest point of your natal chart, your cosmic calling card, and the zenith of your career, then the matrix installs an extreme high voltage program. The feature is an automatic elevator to the very top. You become visible, command natural respect, and people follow you intuitively. The strict condition in the source code is this: Regulus demands absolute, uncompromising integrity. Above all, it contains a fatal revenge clause. As soon as you abuse power to avenge your wounded ego or exact retribution, the algorithm strikes mercilessness and initiates immediate self-destruct mode. The negatively manifested signal is the ego trap. You identify with status and power. When faced with opposition or betrayal, you react with pride, anger, and the urge to get even. The matrix consequence is the automatic crash. The height of the fall corresponds exactly to the height of your previous glory. The positively lived signal is true sovereignty. You lead from the heart, like a true queen, a true king. When attacks come, you know. Shadow exists only because your light burns so brightly. You consciously refrain from revenge and remain generosity. The matrix consequence is untouchable authority. The attacks bounce off you, and your status remains permanently stable because you control the script instead of being controlled by your reflexes. What does this mean for you out there? Observe closely where attacks arise in your everyday life. Where do you feel the urge to strike back out of wounded pride? You must understand, arrogance and revenge are baits of the matrix and bind you to a low frequency. True power isn't proven by how hard you can strike, but by how unshakable your inner attitude remains. In the next part of our Royal Star series, we'll take a closer look at Aldebaran, the guardian of the East, and explore why the code of absolute sincerity lies there and what happens when you try to lie to the matrix.